What's up with Mrs. Norris and Crookshanks?
Did Dumbledore even know Hermione and Ron?
What did Crabbe and Goyle do in their free time? Welcome to the Pottership Podcast,
where we chat about the beloved Potter characters and their relationships.
We dissect,
speculate,
and outright laugh our way through headcanons.
So, all aboard! Hey everybody, it's Mel, mother to Cantus and Butterbeer, owner of Wands and Happy Puff.
Hi, it's TC, mother to Little Lupin and Baby Padfoot, and your resident Ravenclaw.
And it's Sam, also a puff, and I would like to remind everyone that my Patronus is a polar bear! And I almost said an effing polar bear, which reminded me there shall be spoilers, cursing, references to adult language and situations. So if you need to ask permission for anything, save this podcast for later.
Well done. Look at us.
It's almost like
you're like a professional.
I know. It's like we've done this once or twice. Cool.
And we've reached 100 episodes. That was crazy. Oh my God.
I'm still in shock we're even recording.
We started during the panoramic, and I feel like it's just been so helpful keeping us connected, and love you guys. Mwah.
It's been amazing. And honestly, how far we've come from that boat ride in Universal where Mel was like, no.
Let's have a podcast. No, we're not going to have a podcast. And then pandemic hits, and TC and I were like, hey. How about that podcast?
Don't you want to do fun?
Kicking
How about now?
Screaming. I cannot.
We'll become friends with Chris Rankin.
Who knew? Who knew? Lord have mercy. All right. Sorry, I took us off topic. Go ahead.
So I have the show host question. If we have no cannonballs today, right? We are a clean ship.
No, I think y'all need to send us some cannonballs. We need some.
Oh yeah, and we need people to answer the show host questions of the past couple of weeks because I was waiting for some of those answers to come in. So yeah.
Oh yeah, that's a great point. My show host question is because I have been rewatching Bridgerton like it's my job.
Nice.
Because it kind of is right now, and the show host question comes from that. The Wizarding World, as we know, is run by the Ministry of Magic. But if there were a royal family, similar to like a mostly ornamental royal family of the Wizarding World, what would their name be?
What would the Wizarding family name be?
Yeah, because that's such a huge, like, the House of Windsor, the House of Tudor, what would the Wizarding? Because they can't name things.
I was going to say wizards are horrible at naming babies, so they probably wouldn't do this well. And I am going to lean towards the thing that connects all the Wizarding World. I'm talking through this. The thing that connects all the Wizarding World is their wands. So they would be the house of something related to the wands. And I'm going to say the house of point and flick.
Ooh.
Okay. Since I can't say the House of Granger Weasley, because that's my vote for the royal family to name. That's my vote for the royal family. I like the idea of going with wands, but I was going to go more to breaking them down. So I'm going to say the House of the Phoenix Feather.
Okay, that's good too.
That's nice. I went for ridiculous because wizards can't name babies. So it's the House of Fiddly Sickle.
Dumbledore does have that one speech where he has all those crazy words. Maybe that was the house and we just didn't know it.
Yeah. He was just saying the motto.
He's saying the motto of the royal family.
Okay, can I just say we are on a Bridgerton kick lately, and I love it. So
because it's coming up.
I'm so excited. I'm so
And
excited.
it's the best story because it's not the traditional, and I say that in quotes, svelte pretty girl. That is,
Girl, like,
I'm so excited for this story.
I know this is going to be a good
so
one.
fucking
I'm so
excited. And she's
psyched.
gonna wear a color other than yellow, and it's gonna be fantastic. And I saw some video where people were like, "What is this Bridgerton boot camp?" Because they are all attractive actors, that's fine. And then when it's their season, all of a sudden their attractiveness just like shoots up. And it shows a picture of what's his name, Luke Newton, whoever plays Colin. And was just like, I've never been attracted to this man until this moment.
Yeah. It's
By the way,
their season.
I would like to point out that a Hufflepuff just said, and she won't have to wear yellow. I just need to own that for a minute.
We all own it because it is not her color. And being forced to see her in it for 2 years has been painful.
And the Hufflepuff colors, I love yellow, are black and yellow. And if you notice, yellow is always the like
accent.
Yeah, like the addition, the cute little jewelry, the little pin, the little not a lot of people, especially redheads. It's not
You're not
color.
wrong. You're not wrong. That's I was just gonna do a little teasing.
I'm with you.
No, that's totally fair. That's totally fair. The fact that
I love
blue
that
is
show
my
host
color.
question.
Yeah, thank you.
Well, since we brought houses into it, I'm going to talk about our topic today, which is 2 strong women from the same house, generation apart, Molly and Hermione.
Woo! This is going to be so fun.
So incredible. Got that mother-in-law energy.
So
we all know who Molly and Hermione are, right?
Well, I was going to say, normally I give a history or a little background, but we know these women. So if you are just listening to our show for the first time, let me give you a quick what we're up against as opposed to their history. What we're up against is a young witch who's muggle born and comes in a only child from 2 working parents who are successful, who comes into the wizarding world and meets this woman who is a housewife, mother to 7, doesn't seem to use her education and skills for anything but cooking and cleaning. And until her 7th year, what would have been her 7th year, Hermione doesn't see Molly as all that strong. Fast forward, call it 10 years later, Molly is now her mother-in-law. She is a grandmother to Hermione's children, and she has married Molly's youngest baby. Having said all that, go.
So the mother-in-law relationship is a complicated one. It's been spoofed in a million different comedic movies, comedians, shows, everything. I am very lucky that I get along great with my mother-in-law. We're currently living with her. We watch movies all the time. I'm like, bye, husband, I'm gonna go hang out with your mom. But I know that that's not usual, and we're pretty similar. The Hermione Molly, I feel like Hermione learned a lot more about that side of being strong, about the motherly strength. Because you're right, in the beginning, it would have been like, she's cooking and cleaning, and I'm gonna be an academic. And there's so much strength in raising the. I mean, people talk about being a parent as the hardest job, and as someone who never wants that job, I think it might be.
Well, I will say, let's go back before we get to their end, because I think that's where we're going to have the bulk of it.
Sure, that's fair.
Focus on like their first, let's just say 3 years. Before full puberty, before full Ron and Hermione, will they, won't they, feelings get into it. She still meets this woman. Where do you think both of them were thinking about the other?
I'm gonna jump on this one because I had an interesting thought about this today. if you go back to an earlier episode, we talked about Molly and Hermione's mom. And I always sort of see Molly as that woman who takes children in. Like, she has her children, but she's always adopting other children. And I feel like her first instinct was, oh, this poor muggle-born child. Her parents don't understand. We will take her in and be our child. And I think that was reinforced by the fact that Hermione was always at the Burrow when Harry got there. Like, Hermione spent so much time at the Burrow. So I do think there was sort of a, from Molly's perspective, oh, this poor little girl, let me help her.
Mhm.
And I think from Hermione's perspective, it was, I wonder what a full-grown adult in the magical world does. And I think the first summer that she was there, which I think would be the second year, she was probably like wide-eyed and ready to learn. And then probably about a week in was like, oh, that can't be all that they do. It probably came down a bit from her, excitement about learning from Molly. And not to jump ahead, but I do think she probably went back up when she realized how useful some of that is to know.
Fucking camping in the
Before
wilderness.
you go camping.
I will say, we all, not all, let me preface this with the all is in quotes. We are raised by a mother, if we have a mother in our lives. And in many ways, we pattern our lives based on what we learned, good and bad, from that maternal figure. So I always imagined that Hermione came into the Burrow that first time, second year summer, and was like, 2 adults, he works at the ministry. I'm going to learn so much about magic this summer. And I mean, because she's an academic, but we know this. And then she sat there for like a week and a half going, she's just a housewife. I mean, my mother works every day and she didn't have to get a nanny for me. And she helps and she talks to me like I'm an adult. And, like, I imagine little 12-year-old Hermione only seeing Molly's failings because she would have seen her mother as the epitome of what an adult woman should be, which or not. And Molly fell very far short, in Hermione's estimation, of what a successful adult woman should be.
That's so sad.
And I mean, it is and it isn't, because it made her grow to want more.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying she was right or wrong. I'm just saying that's how I see what would have been in her head.
Yeah. And little preteen Hermione
I mean,
who was like, I'm going to take on the world.
Well, at this point, think about it. She only knows teachers, shop owners, and that's it. Like, those are the 2 things she knows of what adult witches can do. And she's like, there's gotta be more than this. And then she became a minister for magic. Oh, I can do that.
Oh, that's easy.
When we first meet Hermione, her idea of what an adult wizard is, or the epitome of adult wizard, was Dumbledore. Because we meet her on the train, she goes, I think I want to be in Gryffindor because that was Dumbledore's house. So yeah, I can see that summer after that, staying with her first magical wizarding family for a while, and this isn't Dumbledore. You know what I mean? So no, I could totally see it. But I think it was also good for Hermione. I think she needed the balance.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Now flip it, and they ask because Sam didn't give her opinion, but let's flip the question before you do. What do you think Molly thought of this little
So do you, okay, what we know of Molly, I think, and this is not always necessarily the case because guys and girls can be friends, blah, 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 whatever. I think Molly said, oh, my 12-year-old son is bringing home a girl. There's a girl that his best friend. Okay. Like, I think that was